Hello everyone, today I'm doing a full walkthrough video of our latest update 4.8.1. It was actually released 2 weeks ago, so I'm a little bit late on this project. However, I read so many comments from you asking how to use one of our newest automations and features. So that's what we're going to see today. So stay tuned because we're going to go over all of the features we released. So the first feature I want to tell you about is the newly added presenting trunk option. As you know, on the Model S and X, as well as on the Model 3 Highland, which is this vehicle right here, if you stand with your phone key behind the car, the trunk is going to open. Now, do you wonder why this doesn't work right now? Well, because I'm using an Android phone on this vehicle, and Tesla have done it so only the iPhone users can get advantage of this feature. And the worst part is that most people have a Model 3 and Y built between 2021 and 2023, and they cannot use this feature. Well, we made it so everybody can use it. Now let me show you how it works. You need to go inside the commander settings, activate this feature, and then choose one of the two options. So if you select always, the trunk is going to open every single time when you come back to your car. However, if you select the option activate with the door button, what you need to do is go to the driver's door. Now imagine I've been driving the car all day, I'm parking in front of the store, and when I come back I want to have the trunk open on its own. So what I have to do is press twice on the driver door button, once, twice. The car beeps at me, which means that it stored this feature in its memory and it's gonna wait for me to come back to the car so it gets activated. So let's see if it's gonna work. So we need to go far away from the car so it gets locked, but also loses the connection between the phone and the car itself. And one more thing you need to remember, if you want to use this feature every single time, your car needs to be awake. The reason behind this is that if the car falls asleep, the commander falls asleep at the same time. So it's not going to store the information anymore, and when you come back, it's not going to open. And that's why you need to always make sure that you have the sentry mode on, or you come back to the car in a pretty quick time. So right now we are standing far away from the car should be already locked, and the phone connection should be broken between the two devices. So let's walk back to it and see if anything is going to change when I'm approaching it. So I'm walking to the car. I do not have to have my phone holding in my hand. It can be straight into my pocket. But just for the experiment, I'm coming close to it. The car started blinking, which means that it made a connection and the trunk gets open. Now, that's pretty cool. And a lot of you are going to say, I've tried this feature, but it doesn't work for me. Well, you need to remember, one, make sure that the car is awake, not asleep. Two, make sure that your phone that you're using is set as a phone key with your car. And number three, make sure that your car is locked when you're going far away from it. That way your trunk is going to open all the time. Now there's one more small detail that a lot of you are not aware of. Tesla and different phones connect with their Bluetooth from different locations. Now this is a Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, and the connection point is around this area, which is super convenient for the trunk to get open. However, I also own a iPhone 15 Pro Max, which unfortunately makes its connection right around this area. So I need to come a little bit closer towards the rear door of the car, and then the trunk is going to get open. So again, it depends of the brand of your phone you're using and the car that you're also using, because I'm also driving a Tesla Model Y, and with my iPhone the connection is pretty strong. I actually get a connection about 5 meters away from the car, which is extremely convenient, but for some reason on the Model 3 Highland it's around this location. So test it out, try this feature a couple of times, just see what a connection works for you, and then you're going to know what location you need to pass through so the trunk opens every single time. Now let's check out the other features. The second thing I want to talk about today is the newly added synchronization between the knob and the Tesla's main screen. Now, as you can see, the knob is at 90 degrees and the main screen is also showing 19. And if I go in and I change the temperature, let's say to 20, the main screen also reflects into 20. Now we had to put a lot of work to make these two things happen. And I see a lot of people are still confused. One, why every feature is not reflected on the main screen. Guys, we were only able to add the climate features to the knob to reflect right here because it's a lot of work. And two, we need to wait for Tesla to release a brand new API that's going to help us reflect everything else that you want to see. That said, everything that you can control in terms of the climate features from this device is going to reflect here, except one thing, and that's the fan speed. It's still going to work. You're still going to hear the sound that the fan speed is blowing, but you're just not going to see it on the main screen. But that's not a big issue, because the only way you can see the reflection if you go inside here. But nobody's gonna be going inside the setting and look at what level the fan speed is. You simply use the knob for that. So you don't have to even care if this synchronization worked for you or not. But one thing that a lot of you are asking about is, are we gonna be able to synchronize the acceleration mode between the car and the knob to show on this display right here? Guys, we really want to do it. We're working hard on it. Just need to wait few more months until Tesla releases this API, and then hopefully we're going to be able to add it here. But yeah, until then, almost everything you're going to do from the knob is going to be seen here, except few features. Oh, and if you wonder how to do the synchronization, it's very easy. Just go inside the Sexy app, go inside the Commander or the knob tab, and on the top you're going to see a brand new button that's going to appear right here, and it's going to be called Pair with the Car. If you do not see this button, or you already have paired it, or you need to download the latest Sexy app version. So make sure to go to the App Store and check it out. And if you want to see the entire process of pairing, make sure to click on the top right banner, because I'm going to show you a full walkthrough video over there. Now, another thing we're super proud about what we have added to the knob, and I'm not talking only about the highlight knob. It's available for every knob that we have been selling on our website since day number one. It's the option to automatically go into a specific page based on the gear that you are in. Now, how does this look? For instance, right now I'm in park, and I set it up so my knob is on page number 2 when I'm in park. But if I switch the gears, so I'm going to press on the brake pedal, I'm going inside my gear selector, and I'm going in drive, and the knob is actually going to change into page number 1. So as you see, I'm in drive and the page is in page number 1. Now I keep all the features here that I'm only using when I'm on the go, and also features that also my passenger might want to be using, as the temperature control and the fan speed. However, when I change into reverse, I have set it so my knob goes into page number 3. So right now, if I look down, bam, the knob is in page number 3, where I have total new set of features. I'm using those when I'm usually parking, like the tilt mirror, like the fold mirror. I'm also always using this right here. This is the stopping mode, so I'm changing when I park between hold and creep. So this is actually a very useful feature for me, so maybe you should check it out. It's also available not only for the Highland, but for every model that we support. And I also use the rear fog lights, because sometimes the location where I'm parking is pretty dark. So yes, even the rear fog lights are pretty, not so bright as so I would want them to be. They still give me a little bit illumination that I can see better on the rear display where I'm parking. So basically I just press on it and it turned them on, and then I can easily switch them back to off. So yeah, that's the most important thing about the automatic page change. So let's say right now I'm going to go in park, the car is setting into park, and the knob goes into page number 2, where I have basic features like the glove box, also control the passenger seat forward and backward, pretty cool stuff. But the best thing is that it's totally customizable. It's based on your driving style, so you need to set it up the way you want to use it. Oh, by the way, we have added new features not only for this knob, but for all of our products. We have the dog mode. We also have the climate system on off. Until now, you had no option to turn off and on the entire HVAC from the Sexy buttons or the knob. Well, now you can do it. So no more pressing and holding on the screen. You can put it over there for your passenger. I can put it right here, so when I'm leaving the car, if I have a dog at the back, I just press on it, I leave out, I close the door, and the dog mode is always on. That way I don't have to go into climate, especially right now with the new climate control. I'm still learning the positioning of them. I'm so confused, maybe because I'm using the knob more often. But let me know down in the comments, are you confused from this new layout? I feel like I like the old one better than this one. Speaking about the new features, now there is an easy way to figure out which are they inside the app without having to read throughout the release note. By the way, make sure to always read the release note, because we add very important information there. However, if you missed it and you want to see what's new, you just go inside the app, you go inside the actions, you press on the plus sign, and you just look for the blue dot. every time you see a blue dot inside the app, that means that in this section here, there is a new feature added. For instance, when I go here in the climate control where I see that there's new ones, I'm just scrolling down and seeing what's new here. For instance, I see that bioweapon defense has been added, keep climate, dog, camp mode, climate on and off, even vent. So vent is a great feature actually. Maybe I should set it up to my note. It allows me to open up all the 4 windows just slightly. I'm gonna try it right now. There you go. All windows drop down a little bit. This is a very useful feature. Usually you can use it from the Tesla app. However, doing it from the button or from the knob is actually very, very useful. So then I can close it and it's gonna close all the way. Yep, so there's new features. Just make sure to play around with the Sexy app. See what the blue dot tells you. Read through the instruction of the feature, because if there is some specific information that you need to follow, make sure that you know it, because otherwise you might get confused. And remember, all the cars are different. Their software might be a little bit different. The execution of the feature might be a little bit different. So just read through it, and we try our best to give you most valuable information that you need to be aware of. All right, there's one more feature that a lot of you have responded that you're super happy that we finally added it, and that's the blind spot indicators on the Sexy Dash. Now remember, I'm saying Sexy Dash. This is a Sexy Dash. That's how it looks. And the blind spot indicators are only gonna work for it. It's not gonna work for the OG Dash, which is inside the settings of the dashboard. However, you need to use this dash no matter with which preset. Now, some of you are saying why I have this dash, but I do not see the blind spot indicators. Well, it's pretty simple. One thing you need to do is go inside the settings of the dash, and you're going to see some specific toggles that we put right here. So one of them is called Frank mode. Frank mode basically gives you the option to illuminate your indicators on the side of the dash, rather having like the small circles right next to it as it's shown in this picture right here. Activating Frank mode is also going to activate the blind spot indicators. Now, a lot of you were confused about this, so that's why we're also already working on a new update, which we're going to add the option for you to toggle them manually from right here. But for now, you need to make sure that Frank mode is on so you can see them. Now, one more thing to remember about the blind spot indicators. They are not going to be working for people who have a Gen 1 Commander, or the folks that have a Gen 2 Commander, but they have installed it at the back of the center console rather than at the front right pillar. Now, for a long time, we've been saying that we have discovered this new port over a year ago, and we've been telling you that we're going to be adding new features based on that port, because it just gives us more information about what's going on inside the car, and the rear port does not provide this info. So that's why if you own a Gen 2 Commander, make sure that you have installed it right there. If you do not have the proper wiring for that, just make sure to visit our website and go get yourself a Gen 2 Commander for front installation. Now, what else have been added to this update? We have one automation which we called Autopilot penalty prevention. I'm not going to be able to show you because today is the first school day and right now the roads are crazy packed. So I'm going to stay right here, but I'm going to try to explain you the best way. It's super simple. When you activate this automation, every time you go over the 140 kilometers an hour speed limit or 85 miles, when you're on autopilot, the autopilot is going to get disengaged and then re-engage again when you drop below 140. That said, there were a couple of people saying this feature does not work for my Tesla Model S plate. Guys, it's very simple. You have a powerful vehicle, and when you step on the accelerator, your car goes super fast from 130 to 170, and the commander cannot read the info so quick to disable this feature for you in time. It usually needs half a second or so, but your car is just way too fast and accelerates faster than half a second. That way, just realize, if you drive a Tesla Model S plate, you need to drive like a normal person. Just accelerate normally. So if you go from 130 to 145, the car is gonna get disengaged just like that. For every other model, guys, you're not gonna have any issue. We have tested it on our Tesla Model 3 Performance, and I'm driving with full speed from 130 to 160, and it works perfectly. It's only a problem for those who are driving like crazy and accelerate on crazy speeds. Maybe those Germans on the Autobahn, they're driving insane. But jokes aside, just drive safely, and this feature is gonna definitely work for all of you. Oh, and speaking about Tesla Model S, guys, we have finally were able to add the continuous autopilot automation for your vehicles. Until now, it was only working on the Model 3 and Model Y, and many of our sexy buttons owners with Tesla Model S or X were struggling to understand why it's not available for them. Well, again, the cars are totally different. We have to adjust the software based on every vehicle, and we were finally able to do it. So right now, if you're one of our users that have a Model S, just go inside the Commander tab, go inside the continuous autopilot section, activate it, and test it out for yourself. Remember, this feature is great for those that only have the option for the auto steer. If you own a car that has a FSD, this is not a feature for you, because we are giving you the option to re-engage your autopilot after you do a lane change by using the turn signals of your car. Speaking about the turn signals, look what I'm having here. This is one of our last prototypes for the sexy stock. I'm not going to show you yet because we're not happy with this design. We need to redo it once again, but it works great. And look, we actually have a small button right here. Okay, I can't wait to show you this product. It's going to be crazy. But yes, Model S owners, if you have a FSD on your car, don't use that feature. You have a great autopilot option for yourself. Just use it, enjoy it. But if you have an auto steer, this is the feature to go for. Continuous autopilot for everybody. All right, I've been talking too much, but I want to make sure that I want to show you one more feature that I believe is my favorite one, and it's the mirroring of the knob on the sexy dashboard. So let me show you how it works. Super simple. You just twist the knob, and everything you do on it is going to be reflected on the screen inside your application. That's super cool and super useful because you can use it as a dashboard right here. Just get any type of a stand, put your phone right here, and use it every single time. By the way, we are bringing phone holders on our website soon, so make sure to follow our channel, subscribe, and never miss any notification from us. But yeah, the cool part is that this thing also works in a horizontal mode. So just twist the knob and you're going to be able to see it. Now, how to activate this feature? Go inside the knob tab, scroll all the way on the bottom, and you're going to see a brand new thing that we have added. It's a show knob screen on the app, inside the app. It's in beta. I mean, we call beta things that we're not sure that are finalized because we want to add new cool things to it, but just wait and you're going to see how great it's going to be. But yeah, it's going to be originally off, so you're not going to be able to see it. But if you go and you select temporary, which means it's going to stay up on the screen for about 3 to 5 seconds and then it's going to disappear. It's going to work for every single person that's using the knob. So that is pretty much it, guys. Let me know down in the comments what do you think about this new update. You had 2 weeks to test it. A lot of you already gave your feedback, but I want to hear, are you enjoying it currently? And what else you want to see from us? We're going to have a new update available for you with some small bug fixes in about a couple of weeks, but we're going to have a major update also available in November for Black Friday. So make sure to stay tuned in because it's going to be one of the greatest ones this year. I promise, especially if you're a Highland owner, you're going to love the following update. So thank you so much for watching this video. Sorry that I was a little bit late, and I'm going to see you soon.